Welcome everybody to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. It is a beautiful day weather-wise here in October for Game 4 of this American League Championship Series with the Houston Astros up 2-1. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. For the Houston Astros, it's simple. They have to hit. It's something that they really had no trouble doing all year. That's why they had the fantastic offensive season, #1 in baseball in team average and putting runs on the board. They've got to figure out this Yankee pitching.
Yeah, they really do. It's the deepest and most balanced lineup, and right now it's out of balance. And what I mean by that, there's not a lot of contributing from the left-handed hitters. They're going to have to find a way for those left-handers to contribute. It's been Altuve and Correa. And when the numbers show what they did against the Red Sox, it looks like the typical story of their offense. But here, all the credit's got to be given to the Yankee starters because we know how good their bullpen is, but without the starters, I don't think those numbers look the same.
There were a couple of trades made by the New York Yankees and Brian Cashman during the course of the season that let all of the rest of us know they were in it. They were in it to win in 2017. Maybe the biggest deal they made was the one they made to get Sonny Gray. He gets the ball tonight. They gave 3 prospects to get him, and you get him for a game like this one against Houston.
Absolutely, and he has the pedigree. Early in his career, he showed ice water in his veins against Verlander, but the problem is his team has not scored him runs. He needs runs to be successful. None in the postseason, 1 or none in 7 of the 12 starts. The only thing he has to concern himself with is the amount of rest he has. Get through the first or second inning, he's going to be fine. This is a big game pitcher.
How much rest has he had? 12 days of rest. We get ready. It's Game 4 of the ALCS on a beautiful night in New York.
New York, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps, whatever you want to call it. There's no denying her energy. No matter what borough you're from, the pinstripes rule this city. Always have, always will. Last night, the hustle and bustle of the city was alive at the stadium. The Bronx Bombers offense roared back to life in a New York minute. Now it's just another day at the office. Their job description's simple, even up the series. It's Game 4 of the ALCS.
Between the top two run-producing teams in baseball, you think about all the offense, but it's been the defense. Whether Marwin Gonzalez in Game 1 or Reddick in his plays in Game 2 or last night, Judge going back on a ball, then coming in on a ball. He also homered. But defense obviously playing a huge role in what's happened so far. A 61-degree picture-perfect night in the Bronx. That little jewel down below Yankee Stadium. This part's been open since 2009. And we send you down to Tom Verducci. Tom.
Thanks, Joe. Well, Houston starter Lance McCullers is to the curveball what Seattle is to rain. No starting pitcher throws his curve more often, 47%, or as hard, 86 miles an hour. He loves it with 2 strikes, 68% of the time. Now, most pitchers think of their curveball as an off-speed pitch. Not McCullers. He will grip the ball on 3 seams with his spike grip and rake his index finger and middle fingers over the top of the ball, not to the side. And as he said, throw it as hard as I can. If he has a feel for that pitch early, the Yankees may see a deluge of curveballs. He'll see a different New York lineup tonight. With more on that, here's Ken Rosenthal.
Tom, interesting change for the Yankees. Austin Romine at catcher with Gary Sanchez moving to DH. Joe Girardi points out that Sonny Gray has better numbers with Romine, but the sample size is small, only 3 starts. Still, it's not like the Yankees are giving up a lot offensively. Their DHs have only 1 hit in the postseason. Girardi also notes that Gray is difficult to catch, at times leaving Sanchez beaten up. This is one way to get Sanchez a break.
Well, let's see how that plays out as we go through this Game 4, and we give you a look at A.J. Hinch and his lineup. Well, this is his lineup. We'll see A.J. in a little bit. George Springer will lead it off. He's in center, then Josh Reddick bats second. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. That keystone combination, 3-4, and shortstop second base. Yuli Gurriel is at first. There's AJ. Alex Bregman is at third. Carlos Beltran, the DH. Marwin Gonzalez all the way down in the 8th spot. Ryan McCann does the catching and bats 9th against the aforementioned Sonny Gray, who is working to Austin Romine. And Sonny Gray not very good down the stretch. His last 7 starts, 2-5 with an ERA up near 5. And you see the numbers in his postseason career. The ERA is good. No runs of support, and therefore a record of 0-2.
Tough to pitch that way. He's a smaller guy with a big stride, and look for him to test the lineup of Houston. Uncharacteristically, the Houston lineup has expanded the strike zone, meaning they're swinging a little bit more out of the strike zone. See if he can get him to bite early, and can he survive the 12-day rest?
Strike 1 starts Game 4. With pigeons gathering out behind Sonny Gray and in front of second base. They're confused with this 5 o'clock local start. The heck is going on, they're saying to each other. A 1 pitch. Ball and a strike.
What Sonny is going to try to do, he's got a power curveball, kind of like McCullers. He's got a power changeup, and he's got a cutter. He'll ride his 4-seamer and 2-seamer. He has success in the top end of the strike zone, but he typically likes to work down, especially with the curveball.
That misses down and away, 2-1. Springer 1-for-11, hitting .286 overall during the postseason. But 1-for-11 in this ALCS. About as good a thunderous start to a lineup as you will see in baseball, and as we have seen for quite a while. With his 34 home runs, he grounds to short, pigeon scatter. Gregorius makes the play. 1. We give you the Lincoln Motor Company keys to the game.
Yeah, the Astros balance it out. Left-handers got to chip in, got to help out the right-handed batters. 0-for-28, and really simple for the Yankees. Lead before the 5th, and Joe Girardi's got toys to go to, and he doesn't mind making that move as quickly as anybody. And why not? It's deep.
Josh Reddick now hitless in this ALCS, 0-for-10. Ball 1.
It'll take a while for this crowd to get going in capacity because of that time you talked about, 5 o'clock. Traffic's never great in this area, yet alone at the peak hour. So Not the second or third inning. This place will be crazy loud.
1-0 pitch. A strike from Sonny Gray. Astro fans watching may not be familiar with what they do out in the bleachers, but they serenade each player and wait to get recognition from that player when they're chanting their name. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's strike 2.
This is the sinker that he has. He's got good movement on it.
1-2 to Reddick is lined into center. Hicks 2 out. You know Hicks is in center. You know Gregorius is at short. Around Hicks, it's Gardner to his right, Aaron Judge to his left. On the infield, it's Frazier, one of the heroes last night in Game 3. Gregorius at short, Starlin Castro at second, Greg Bird at first, and Romine does the catching. Judge, we showed you the 2 catches he made last night. Hit that wall hard out in right field and then came in, made a diving catch later, had a home run mixed in. See if that gets the 25-year-old rookie going. With 2 out, here's Altuve, and that's ball 1. Did you ever work with 12 days of rest?
I did. 93. I got pushed back to Game 4 starter, 13 days off. I can remember the first couple innings. Couldn't believe how much I felt, how strong I felt. I was up early and then adjusted, and that's why the first or second inning is important for Sonny Gray. Because once you get into the flow of the game, then those days rest don't mean anything. But leading up to it, bullpens and simulation games don't really cut it. And so for a guy who's used to creatures of habit every 5 days, it does make a difference.
Altuve with a count in his favor, 2-0. Hitless in the game last night, 5 for 12 in this ALCS and hitting .481 this postseason. That's ball 3 with Correa on deck. They're the career numbers for Altuve against Sonny Gray. Sonny, who was in the AL West with the Oakland A's. 3 prospects to get him at the end of July, and here he is, his 3-0 pitch to Altuve. He held up on ball 4, and it's a 2-out walk.
It's hard to do. Walk him on 4 pitches. It is hard to do because the way you already saw 3-0 that he wanted to get after it.
But he laid off, and now Correa, who has hit in 6 straight during the postseason. Last night 1 for 4, but the combo of Altuve and Correa shut down for the most part. 1 for 8 combined in Game 3, and it was Sabathia who did a lot of that work.
Sonny had his number early in the regular season. 1 for 14 off of Sonny Gray is Correa.
That's 5 straight that have missed from the New York right-hander.
They'll try to pound Correa in. You have to. You got to get him off the pitches away because he can go to right field, this short porch. Ideally, a ball out over the plate fastball. That's where he can hurt you.
He homered in Game 2 into right in Houston. Jammed him. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Correa, I believe, and yep, he broke his bat. So while he gets a new bat, we will go back to the winning run in Game 2. Altuve. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. There's his sprint speed in feet per second. And first to home in under 10.5 seconds.
It's still amazing. I mean, if the Astros go on to win this series, I mean, you can look at that play and say that could be the turn, because he was out. But then he ended up not being.
Sanchez couldn't corral the throw on the relay from Gregorius. That's outside. 2-1. But you understand the thinking of the third base coach, Gary Pettis.
Totally.
Who said, hey, we just got back-to-back hits against Aroldis Chapman. That doesn't happen. We may not get another. I'm sending him, and it worked. Motioning over to Altuve at first. Here comes a 2-1. 2-2.
Yankees did all their damage yesterday with 2 outs. The Astros would like to try to chip into that category if possible.
Spoiled it. Sonny Gray was an 18th overall pick by Oakland in 2011. Came up in 2013. Twice a 14-game winner. 5-11 last year. Been on the DL 3 times in his career. Coming into this season, and then traded July 31st with 3 big-name prospects. Here comes his throw to first, and Altuve able to dive back in without a tag.
And that trade was just not for this year. They have controllable years with Sonny Gray, so look for him to pay dividends next year as well, as it'll be a full campaign with the Yankees.
Correa trying to give his team a jolt in game 4, and he grounds too short. Tough play, Gregorius, and he got it. Nice play by the Yankees shortstop, and in the bottom of the first inning, it'll be Gardner, then this guy, Aaron Judge, then Gregorius. After a half, no score. In the bottom of the first inning, Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius with Gary Sanchez, the DH, here in game 4. Greg Bird, Starlin Castro, Aaron Hicks, Todd Frazier, and Austin Romine does the catching. He will bat 9th, does not have an at-bat this postseason against the right-hander Lance McCullers Jr.
Second half wasn't kind. First half was great. Some injuries set him back. He's looking to give him 4 or 5 innings and facing the super pest and Brett Gardner. At some point in this series, Gardner's going to have to swing at the first pitch and surprise the staff. He has yet to do it all series.
He does right here, and he fouls it left side. It will get out of play. Lost his bat. He wasn't ready to even swing.
He was in between. But you got to do that every once in a while, because you know after a while they're just going to lay in that first pitch, and that's the best chance he could have gotten to really set this crowd on its ear with a leadoff homer or a hit. But you need to have the bat in your hands too.
So strike one on Brett Gardner. Sees a lot of pitches per at bat. Not as many as the guy behind him, Aaron Judge. To the right side, easy for Altuve. Leadoff man is gone. And the batter will be Aaron Judge, and he will be looking out at this defense. Marwin Gonzalez in left, George Springer in center, Josh Reddick in right. Around the infield, third to first, it's Bregman, Correa, Altuve, and Gurriel. Brian McCann is behind the plate, as he was for the first two games. Got the night off last night against the left-hander Sabathia, and here is Aaron Judge. That misses down and away, ball one.
Watching McCullers warm up, he did not throw a curveball. So he has such confidence in that pitch that he didn't need to warm up with it, and starts off Judge with the power breaking ball. I haven't seen that too often, to be honest with you. You go out there and you know you got time, and you just usually go through all your pitches. He went through just the fastball changeup combination. So I don't need to throw that pitch. I'd wake up throwing that pitch. More power to him.
One ball, one strike on Judge. Good fastball at 96 from McCullers, who was an American League All-Star this year after that good first half that you talked about, John. 7-2 with an ERA of 3.05 before the break, and then 2 times on the DL with a bat back in the second half. 1-2, 2 out, and a strikeout of Aaron Judge, and a breaking ball down and away.
Well, McCullers is very confident. Certainly he showed that 2 years ago when he was facing the Kansas City Royals and almost eliminated them. Starts him off with a breaking ball, then goes right back to a breaking ball. Gets away with this fastball that leaks over the middle to the upper part of the strike zone, then finishes him with a breaking ball.
Judge has seen a lot of those as he strikes out for the 22nd time this postseason. Gregorius takes a strike at the belt. As Didi has gone, so have the Yankees in a certain regard. Gregorius hitting .361 in Yankee victories, 186 in losses. Hit .287 overall, and he takes a ball in the dirt, 1-1.
The last 4 times he had faced Didi, he did not throw him a fastball. So he starts him off with a fastball and goes to the changeup. He will likely throw him in hittable situations a lot of curveballs.
That's down. Little different defensive alignment tonight as opposed to last night when Gregorius just bunted down the third baseline. Bregman is playing a little closer to his regular spot as Gregorius skies one into center. That sends Springer back to end the inning. Let's go to the second in Game 4 of this American League Championship Series. No score. ALCS on FS1 is presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966. And is sponsored by the 2017 Lincoln MKX. And by T-Mobile, this postseason there's a new leader in network. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Weather is perfect on this Tuesday, October 17th. Glad you're with us on FS1 as a fastball from Sonny Gray misses for ball one. It'll be Gurriel, then Bregman, then Beltran, the DH. Gurriel had a 6-game postseason hitting streak snapped in last night's game. That catches the corner as Romine frames it a bit. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, other than Altuve, this guy has been super consistent. First half, no different than the second half. A lot of consistencies, whether he's behind in the count, ahead in the count, or even count.
That's foul right side. Strike 2.
He just flat out hits against right-handers. It's the opposite splits. Left-handers give him a little bit of trouble. So this guy's been hot. The first series, he had a bunch of hits in a row, and they're hoping to get that going again in the lineup for the Astros.
Gurriel leading off in the second. Out in front of it, just got a piece. The Astros and their general manager Jeff Luhnow signed Yuli to a 5-year, $47.5 million deal. July of last year, at the age of 32. But just a professional hitter. And he's shown that this postseason. 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
That's where you got to go. He does such a good job at staying on the ball against right-handers that the only way to expand him, his discipline's really good, is you've got to have it looking like a strike on the outside corner and then fading obviously away from him.
Breaking ball hit hard. Frazier had to back up. Made a strong throw. 1 out. Not an easy play, but Todd Frazier made it look like an easy play. That is a long throw, John.
Yeah, there's no panic in Frazier, and he gets to this ball and then relies on his arm. He takes his time, gets the grip, and knows that it's not a speedy runner. If he makes a good throw, he'll get him easy.
Now Bregman. Ball 1 down and away. Alex is 2 for 9 in this ALCS. Has 6 hits this postseason. A rapid rise through the system to this spot. Astros love him. Confident young player. Waits for a 1-0 pitch. Right down the chute at 95. The ball and a strike. Last night Bregman chased a pitch on 3-2 that was up from CC Sabathia, and that was one of the examples that manager A.J. Hinch gave you, John, when he asked him about the offense and the struggles. If he was seeing anything different than he saw during the regular season, he said maybe on the margins around the strike zone. But all in all, the Yankees have just pitched them better than I think they even expected. As that bounces in there 2-2. They knew the bullpen was good, but the starting pitching has been right there with Houston's.
It really has. And statistically on the season, they were right there in the top 6 or 7 in baseball. So they take a lot of pride. Certainly all the credit, and a lot of credit goes to the bullpen with the flamethrowers they've got coming out. But
2-2. Just got a piece.
But Sonny Gray is still tough to hit. I mean, his ERA wasn't great, but his opponent's batting average is still one of the better ones. And when he gets ahead of you, he's even tougher to hit. 139 average when he's ahead in the count.
Two-two pitch. Slow roller. If it's fair, it's a hit. It is foul. Well, we have a moment just to back up the point about what has happened in this series. Our Volkswagen Atlas road to the postseason will give you a look at the Houston offense. In the regular season, over 5.5 runs a game. That's the best in baseball. In this series, 5 runs total in 3 games. The lefties are hitless, 0 for 28. This series, Altuve, Correa, great. Rest of the team under 100, 6 for 66. And it's the second time all season the Astros were held to 2 runs or less in 3 consecutive games. The good news is their pitching's been so good.
Yes.
2 runs was enough in games 1 and 2. So they're up 2 games to 1. 2-2 pitch.
Well, we knew going in this was going to be a great series because of the strengths of each team are different in different ways, right? We know about the power of the Yankees and the offense of the Yankees and Houston complement each other real well. Well, the starters probably have the advantage a little bit with Houston, and the edge goes to the bullpen with the Yankees. So who can get to a position? Who exercises their strengths first? That's what we have.
Wouldn't chase it on 2 and 2. It's a full count. On deck is the DH Beltran. 2.5 years. He was a Yankee. 3-2 pitch. Sonny Gray. Breaking ball. 3 and 2, and the count stays full.
Well, for Sonny Gray, he has what I think are some of the toughest pitches for a guy who doesn't stand 6'5". 4-seam fastball over the top and can run it up there at 95. There's the spiked curveball that has great downward tilt, and the power changeup. You don't see many of those, much like Canely at 90 miles an hour.
3-2's grounded to short. Gregorius. That was close. Out is the call. Bregman was out by half a step. They may want to look at that. And you can see Alex Cora check. Let's see. He's out as Gregorius just got him. So no challenge, and with 2 out, nobody on after a couple of ground balls, it's Beltran.
Well, when Sonny Gray gets Beltran out, it's a simple formula: 4-3 or 3-1. In other words, all he does is hit right into that shift, either to the first baseman or the second baseman. When Beltran has gotten some hits, he's actually lifted the ball the other way, and then a couple times he has beat the shift with a harder hit baseball.
Switch hitter better left-handed, waits and flips at it, fouls it away, strike 2.
And now the Yankees will put Didi back to his regular position and bring over Frazier to the spot that Didi was at. And there you can see the hot zone. 300 or above represents the red. Everywhere else, that's kind of where you want to get him out versus right-handed pitchers.
Ripped toward the corner. That ball will get down and go to the wall, and Beltran will dig for second with a 2-out double. First hit of the game belongs to number 15, Carlos Beltran.
And the first hit for left-handers for the Astros. That was a mistake. So far, the only mistake by Sonny Gray. This was a rolling breaking ball that he's lucky was staying in the ballpark. He got it right to that red zone that we were talking about. He likes the ball out over the plate. He doesn't want it down. If it's down, he grounds out. If it's up, he can do stuff like that.
So now the Astros, who had struck first and scored first in every game until last night during this postseason, have a chance for a 2-out RBI from Marwin Gonzalez. Ball 1.
And the only hiccup, and it's not a bad average, but with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, a .250 batting average against Sonny Gray.
But to throw more numbers out there, Marwin Gonzalez this year between the regular season and postseason, hitting .347 with runners in scoring position. He has Beltran out there, 2 out. Second inning. That's just high, 2-0.
There you have it. Either he learns to sit on a pitch or just his eyes light up when guys are on base. And I would think the Yankees certainly won't let this count give in to Marlin. Base open, McCann on deck.
What? 2-1. A 2-out walk to Altuve in the first. He was left on. 2-out double by Beltran here in the second. What is his fate? Should end the inning into left. Gardner. Sonny Gray with 41 pitches through 2 shutout innings. Astros have left 2. Bottom of the second, no score. Series and where they are stationed for this game 4. Gujon is the home plate umpire. Meals, Reynolds, Carlson, Hunter Wendelstedt, and Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, worked the plate last night. He's banished to right field for game 4. Sanchez is the DH for this early evening start. Strike 1.
I'm interested to see if the stress of not catching Sonny Gray will be a little bit easier for him at the plate, because the two haven't worked together, meaning catching and hitting at the same time when Sonny Gray's on the mound. See if it frees up Sanchez.
Well, they'd love to get him going. He's hitless in this ALCS with 5 strikeouts, 0 for 11. And he's set up here at 0-2.
2 strikes. He's looked way more anxious than normal. This should be nowhere close to the strike zone.
You were right. Ball 1.
And now spinning it outside of the strike zone, almost in the other batter's box.
Off the end of the bat, shallow left. Out is Altuve. 1 out. 4 in a row retired by Lance McCullers Jr. to start his night. Home runs mean more this postseason as T-Mobile is guaranteeing at least $1 million for hurricane recovery efforts, with every home run hit worth $10,000. They'll break $1 million by including hashtag HR4HR in your tweet, and T-Mobile will donate an additional $1 each time. They need your money. 1 out, nobody on. The batter is Greg Bird. 3 for 10 with a home run in this ALCS. Strike 1. Good pitch.
These two haven't faced each other, so each getting a look at video to determine how they're going to be pitched and how to pitch them.
That rides outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the luxury that Brian McCann has as a catcher, playing with a lot of these guys last year, certainly you'd like to be throwing to a catcher that has all that knowledge.
Strike 2. Yeah, McCann was here for 3 years and then traded for prospects to Houston last year, leading into this year. And in his first season with the Astros, McCann ended up with 18 home runs. Good catcher, good guy. Oh! Check swing, 2 and 2.
And you know what's amazing? The lessons I learned getting to play one my whole career basically with Atlanta. You see guys from afar differently until you get a chance to play with them, and then you see things more clearly. I mean, guys I pitched against, and then when I got a chance to play with them, I went, oh my gosh, I could have done this. You get to see more at bats. You get to see everybody attacking your teammate versus you looking at them from afar. So having played with them, I think McCann has a nice game plan going in.
He was impressed with all the young talent the Yankees have, and a lot of that young talent was on display this year. Bird a part of that, but he strikes out, and that's 2 out here in the second strikeout for McCullers.
What makes McCullers' breaking ball so difficult is it stays in the zone a long time, and then it has just great downward action. That to a hitter is in the strike zone the entire time. That's why he's swinging. If he knew it wasn't going to end up in the strike zone, it would be easier to take. And that power breaking ball that's so unique, because curveballs usually have a slower velocity to them and a bigger break at times. That's the spin factor that everyone keeps talking about.
With 2 out, here's Starlin Castro.
Just to give you context, the average major league curveball about 80 miles an hour. He throws his upwards to 85 and 86. He spins it at 28.80 basically, and the average is 24.50 thereabouts.
Left side, the big shortstop Correa. And so far, so very good for Lance McCullers Jr., whose dad was a Yankee. We go to the 3rd in Game 4, no score. because the pitching was so great for Houston through games 1 and 2 with Keuchel and Verlander, they got all the headlines. But what a difference from one series to the next for Houston hitters against starting rotations, comparing Boston to New York. Good change there, and a swing and a miss by Brian McCann against the Red Sox in the division series. Sale, Pomeranz, Pfister, and Porcello. That group had a 12.71 ERA against Houston in what was a 4-game set. So far in this ALCS, the Yankees starters, Tanaka, Severino, Sabathia, and Gray, have a 1.50 ERA against these Houston hitters in this deep, balanced lineup. Here's a 1-1. And hits him in the side, and McCann will go down to first as the pain subsides a bit. Leadoff man is on for the first time in the game.
With the shift, they're trying to bury cutters in against McCann and just help the shift out. That doesn't feel good under any circumstances and any weather.
So a bruise for Brian. 1 on, nobody out for Springer. One home run this postseason, 35 total for the year. Ball 1 way outside.
It just seems so enticing if a hitter could determine that I'm going to go the other way with a fastball away. They're shading, of course, Springer to pull.
And he does. To Gregorius. The out at second. No chance for a double play. 1 on, 1 out.
That's exactly what today's style of hitting has been. Almost tantalizing the hitter, laughing at him, saying you cannot do to the open side. We're going to put an extra defender over, and the pitcher's going to entice you to get it right where we want it. Speed and a bad hop kept that from being a double play.
Had to reach twice to get the right handle.
Well, the Astros would gladly change runners. McCann not fleet of foot at all.
Strike 1 on Reddick. Josh hit it hard, but lined out to center his first time 0 for 11 in this series. But a .314 hitter during the regular season with 13 home runs. He's never hit well in this ballpark. Been to the A's, been to the Red Sox. Smothered by the catcher Romine. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know what people don't understand is when you get to these postseasons and you get to these condensed kind of magnified 0 for 11s, he's probably done that multiple times in his career in the regular season, but it averages out, and then he ends up with a .315 batting average. But when you're in the postseason, you try to get everything going as much as you can, and then people talk about an overkill of numbers, which right now has been advantageous for the pitchers. So I used to love that part because hitters pressing is a good thing for a pitcher, but the guy who relaxes, takes his walks, and knows his hits are coming, that makes it more difficult.
Another reason why Austin Romine is doing the catching, because of the pitches in the dirt across baseball, 3rd most. And the guy on the mound, Sonny Gray. Nice play. Out. Out. 1-6-3 with Gray feeding Gregorius. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Yankee fans love it. Another good one brewing in the Bronx. No score. Astros are in search of their second pennant in franchise history. They lead this ALCS 2-1. Yankees got on the board last night, put up 8 runs, all with 2 out, by the way, and won at 8-1. There's a strike to Aaron Hicks with Todd Frazier and Austin Romine to follow. Bottom 3 in the lineup. Lance McCullers has been perfect through 2. McCullers worked at Fenway in game 3, went 3 innings, 2 runs on 3 hits. Came out of the bullpen in a 10-3 Red Sox win. That's inside. Check swing, 2-1.
Yeah, on the year, although not the sample size because he was hurt a lot, the first 3 innings he's been excellent. It's the middle 3 innings, the 4th through 5th and 6th, that the ERA is almost tripled compared to the 1st through the 3rd. There's the batting averages when you talk about the lineup going around. First time, second time, third time.
Hicks has taken a lot of walks here at Yankee Stadium this year. Here he grounds one sharply to the right side. Altuve 1 out. First 7 retired in order. Later tonight, game 3 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and Cubs at 9 Eastern on TBS. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be back here in the Bronx for game 5 of this series. Our coverage starts at 4 Eastern right here on FS1, followed by NLCS game 4 at 9 Eastern on TBS. It'll be Yu Darvish and Kyle Hendricks tonight. The Dodgers up 2-0 in their best of 7 NLCS, a rematch from a year ago. Cubs won that one in 6. There's a strike to Frazier.
You know, we talk about the Yankees bullpen, but the Dodgers bullpen has been flexing their muscles. They have been unhittable, literally, and they have done a nice job closing out the games and holding the Cubs to basically no runs as well.
They can come at you a lot of different ways out of that Dodger bullpen for Dave Roberts, and it's anchored by Kenley Jansen, one of the game's best. That's high and tight. 2-1. Frazier flipped a home run into right last night against Charlie Morton. Gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead. And that 8-1 win. That's a strike on the outside corner. 2-2, and Frazier didn't like the call.
Literally on the corner.
Jammed him. Still 2-2 at 95 from McCullers.
That's pretty good right there. I told you Frazier doesn't come off the fastball too often inside, but by throwing the ball inside, you open him up from diving outside. You see the movement in there, and he was on it, and did the only thing he could do is hit it foul when a perfectly placed fastball inside. Really hard for a right-handed hitter to keep it fair.
Jammed again, little floater into center, and a base hit out of the reach of Altuve. Now the Yankees have their first base runner.
Todd Frazier doesn't care what it looks like. I'm telling you, as long as he gets results, gets the foot down, gets jammed, but puts it in play, and because the shift is on, no chance for Altuve to get it from the shortstop position. Maybe if he was in the second base position, he would have had a chance.
Well, he is strong. There's no doubt about that. And it's one of the parts of the game for Frazier that Joe Girardi pointed to when we talked to Joe about the home run that Todd hit last night to right. He said, you know, he hits 20-25 home runs for a reason. He's strong. And while last night's home run wasn't pretty in the batter's box, for the Yankees, it was exactly what they needed as that ball disappeared into the seats in right. Sabathia was great.
I mean, you can say it shocked everybody, including Morton. As good as he was pitching, the 2 weak base hits and then that homer. it did everything for this crowd and everything for the Yankees down 2-0. They never looked back and of course went on to win 8-1.
With Shaq Girardi. Ken Rosenthal, what did you hear about it?
Well, I talked to hitting coach Alan Cockrell, and he said, I'd like to attribute the home run to great hand-eye coordination, except Frazier's eyes were one place, his rear end was another, and the ball somehow hit the bat.
Here's a little clunker left side. Bregman, only one play and a good play. 2 out. Down to second, Frazier for Gardner, who will bat with 2 down.
As a pitcher, sometimes you lie to yourself and say this is the way you want them to hit them, and you do in general. But when there's a runner on first, you'd like to hit a bullet right at somebody in turn 2. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and see if the Yankees can continue their 2-out magic like they were yesterday, and all their runs being via 2 outs.
Gardner 2 for 11.
It's the one guy I wouldn't want up in the lineup with runner on third and less than 2 outs. He is so good at spoiling and putting the ball in play. Now here a little different story with 2 outs and a runner on, but nonetheless a tough out.
Ball 1 is Gardner able to lay off. He went after the first 2 pitches in his first at bat, grounded out to second. Pitch number 37 with a 1-0 count from McCullers.
Gonzalez playing way in, trying to take away the slap to left field, but Gardner can hit it over your head that way too.
Good pitch. He can muscle up. 21 home runs. See the Yankees this series with 2 outs. All 10 of their runs have scored against Houston. 2 outs here and Frazier at second. .88 miles per hour from McCullers, and he's one good pitch away from getting out of this. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He looks really good for not starting in a long time, and that was the tighter slider type break. Got on the side of that one, almost looked like it backed up.
One and 2 the count. Gardner for Altuve. Good work by McCullers. Gives up the flare hit with 1 out. And now as we go into the 4th, Jose Altuve set to lead it off. He's had a 3 home run game in this postseason. He's been fantastic. First up in the 4th with no score. ALCS presented by Camping World on FS1. No score into the 4th inning. Part of the order for the Astros. That means Altuve leading it off. Strike one.
That also means Sonny Gray has to continue to be mentally tough. Not getting any runs has been part of what he's used to, and not easy to pitch, continuously trying to be perfect. But so far, looks good after the layoff.
He's allowed only 1 hit. He's hit a batter. Also allowed a walk. And a double play that he started in the 3rd. He's faced 2 over the minimum, misses outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The next from Gray, way outside and down, 2-1.
You almost have to have a reverse approach to Altuve. You know, lull him to sleep into a hittable count, and maybe, just maybe, you might have success, because all of his success usually comes before 3 pitches. He just likes to get up there and hack.
That's up for ball 3. There have been a total of 2 strikeouts in this game so far through 3 innings. That's the fewest in any postseason game. 2017, we've seen a lot of Ks.
It's a nice nugget right there he just threw out.
3-1 pitch. That's Aaron Charlton, a representative from Stats Inc. Coming up with that little gem. And now a full count on Altuve. Crowd jumps into the fun. Struck him out, 1 away.
That's what I'm talking about. So a hittable count, 3-1. He makes 2 good pitches, and then the 3rd one. Out of the zone, hard cutter, looks like it might stay there, and then one of the few off balance. Altuve is just not happy expanding the zone there.
Now Correa. Up the middle. Castro booted it. He had to deal with the mound and then the second base bag. He came up on it. The ball stayed down. It's an error on Castro, his first of the postseason.
Yeah, it does take a kind of a funky hop. You mentioned it, through the mound, over the bag, and then just didn't react like Castro thought it would. Maybe it hit the mound and created some topspin, and then you see that funky hop. The first game that Sonny Gray pitched for the Yankees, it was in Cleveland, and the Yankees put on a horrible display of defense for him. I want to say 3 errors in the 1st inning.
That stays at home plate as Romine knocked it down with Gurriel looking at ball 1. Two for 10 in this series. Hit 18 home runs, drove in 75 during the regular season for the #2 home run hitting team in baseball, behind the Yankees. Houston. Here's a 1-0. Gray has pitched around a walk. He's pitched around a double. He's pitched around a hit batsman. Now he's trying to pitch around an error. Strike 2.
always want to pick up your teammates because they're going to pick you up. So when one of your guys makes an error, you make it a mission to just let that error not be noticed.
Gurriel and the Astros trying to make New York pay for that error. Here comes a 1-2. That gets away from Romine. And we'll see how that's ruled. 2 balls, 2 strikes now as that one eluded the catcher Romine as he tried to backhand it on that bounce. Should be a wild pitch, and it is. Gurriel on 2-2. Strikes out.
Good confidence by Gray, going right back to the pitch he just threw to the backstop. This one had tremendous bite on it. You see the break starting in the strike zone.
Now the inning up to Bregman. Grounded to short his first time up. Runner at second, 2 out. Ball 1 outside at 92. New York in the bottom of this 4th inning will have Judge, Gregorius, and Sanchez, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. None of those 3 with more than 2 hits in this series. 1-0. Bregman has 2 home runs this postseason, both against Chris Sale, the lefty. His OPS way higher against left-handed pitching. Facing the right-hander Sonny Gray. Here comes a 2-0. Good job that time by Romine to keep it at the plate. 3-0.
Yeah, Bregman does much better against the curveball than he does the slider or changeup. Very interesting to see the 3-0 green light here with 2 outs. Bregman, let's say he's going to give it to him.
Gray on 3-0. He does swing. Fly ball into right. Judge is there. And a nice job by Gray to get around the error and the wild pitch. Astros have left 3, bottom of the 4th in this matchup between McCullers and Gray. No score with the heart of the order coming up for New York. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for New York, no score. Lance McCullers Jr. inside for ball 1 to Judge, who struck out his first time.
I want you to look at Judge and where he puts his hands. A lot of hitters have triggers. His hands are going to go from his ear to the barrel to the ball, taking him to the ball. And that's how successful he can be. A lot of guys will say that front side's got to stay in, the foot's got to go down, all the different timing mechanisms. But at 6'7", he has a bigger disadvantage than most. So it's his hands that are important in his swing. It's kind of like the grip in a golf swing. Once that's good, then the rest takes care of itself.
He's hit 35 home runs in this ballpark this year as he takes in the dirt 3-1. The Yankees led the American League with 51 home wins this season. 51 of the 81 games played. Including the postseason, Joe Girardi's club has won 17 of their last 20 here at Yankee Stadium. 3-1 pitch is down. A leadoff walk. And the first free pass from McCullers, who wanted that pitch, didn't get it. And McCullers is hot. Upset that he didn't get that last pitch.
And it's a ball, and certainly when you're talking about a strike zone like that, it seems like to a pitcher the strike zone is much bigger because the picture he's looking at is much bigger. But that is down, and that's the hardest pitch for Judge to hit and to lay off.
Now Gregorius, there's more to that story with Judge, and we touched on it earlier in this series. Gregorius fly to center his first time. Ball 1, and McCann gets to it. The other part of it is, and you touched on it, I believe, in game 1, definitely in game 2. Judge has had a lot of low strikes called against him, balls below the hollow of the knee, as they call it, the bottom part of the strike zone. And while some have waited for Judge to get hot with home plate umpires and complain, Joe Girardi talked about it in the press at the beginning of this 3-game part of the series in New York. I don't think that doesn't filter back to these umpires. And we've seen a couple of low pitches that earlier in the series were called for strikes go for balls the last 2 nights.
Yeah, the Indian series was really more of how the Indians attacked Judge, and they stayed down there. And because he's always going to get to 3-2, it seems like 3-2 is that borderline, you know, do you get aggressive, do you take, do you rely on the umpire? But this is low, and it's a ball.
That was ball 4 on that 3-1 delivery.
He may want to have his pants go down farther and not show so much of the socks and make it tougher, right?
1 ball, 1 strike. Gregorius with a pretty good swing, but a foul, strike 2.
Strong man on deck. Sanchez looking to get on track as well.
Gregorius pumped one into these seats during the wild card game. Had 2 in game 5 of the division series in Cleveland that he pulled into right.
Man, so tempting to just lay a sacrifice bunt down and beat it out for a hit. Make a shift. Can't do it with 2 strikes, but in scenarios like this, the later the game goes, they're going to play them the same way.
Two pitch. Gregorius into center, right at Springer, 1 out. Back to first is Judge.
The curveball for McCullers against left-handers has been so tough. Left-handers having a hard time picking up and hitting that pitch. But that's the way you got to attack it. I mean, that was a good approach, good swing. Just didn't get the result. But against left-handed, it's a 185 average against. Call that an atom ball, and hitters don't want to hear, hey, hang with them. They don't want to hear that when they've made a good swing and hit a line drive.
Sanchez 0 for 12. Popped up his first time. The DH tonight. Judge takes off, and a broken bat pop-up into right center field. Judge is way too far off the bag. Didn't start back until too late. And he's doubled off first to end the inning. Running on the pitch, didn't pick up the ball, and was late getting back to the bag.
Yeah, he got deked by Altuve big time. Maybe not as much.
The question is, was the tag applied before the feet got to the bag? And here's a good look at it. I think he's safe. And Joe Girardi has already said that he will challenge just about anything. And they're going to look at it. And this looks like a challenge Girardi will win. But there is nothing in the category of a given when you go to replay.
Right, exactly. It's got to be clear and decisive. So he's standing there at second. All right. Now let's see if he goes back and touches the bag. This could be a double. This could be a double review. It could be our first double review. He's got to touch the bag when he goes back through. And I don't know if he ever does. So Joe might win his challenge, and then I think AJ will be sitting on the other end thinking, okay, I'm going to challenge. I'm going to double stamp a triple stamp.
Well, look at the umpire right there. That's Jim Reynolds. This replay review is sponsored by WB Mason. I'm with you. Once he goes past the bag, he's got to tap it on his way back. And he went right over it.
He went right over it. He was trying to figure out where that ball depth-wise, whether or not Reddick was going to get back in time. And here comes AJ, and he's going to let him know that he is going to ask for a replay. Once they realize he's safe at first, they're going to call him out at second for not touching the bag on his way back. This is the first time I've seen this.
So Judge definitely beat that tag.
All right.
So there's a first half of it.
And now they're going to go back and they're going to look at him not touching second base, I would think. And maybe AJ's got to wait for action to be back in, maybe.
Well, AJ Hinch went out there. The second base umpire, Jim Reynolds, was staring right at it. He definitely touched the second base bag on his way going towards second. And now here he is coming back to first.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he touches it at all.
And now we'll see if maybe they just do the old-fashioned throw to second and appeal it that way, because
yeah, that's what they're going to do. So they'll save their challenge and appeal it once the batter gets in the zone, in the batter's box.
These fans are going to be so confused.
Wait till the batter gets in, though. You have to do it.
And this is. Fans are going to wonder what the heck's going on, but we believe that once McCullers throws to second and they tap the bag, the inning's going to be over. And if that's the case, then it will be the fourth base runner the Yankees have lost on the bases in this ALCS.
He does.
Now Judge is running for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have to lose?
Maybe they'll throw it away. I don't know. But he is out, and the inning is over. And now Joe Girardi says, hold on.
Well, they were going to just force the action. Judge was going to try to force the action right there. See if he could get to second base before they even made the appeal.
He knows he didn't touch the base. Can we go to the 5th inning now? Now
that was awesome.
This whatever. We're going to the 5th inning. The old double review. No score in Game 4. Happened again in the bottom of the 4th inning. An interesting play on the part of Aaron Judge once he knew and the Yankees knew that he was going to be out because he didn't retouch second base. On his way back to the bag, he beat the throw going to first. Initially called out. Joe Girardi challenged it. That part they reviewed and said he was indeed safe, but the Astros were watching the replay. They realized the Judge didn't retouch second on his way back to the bag. And then, interestingly enough, with McCullers on the mound to appeal back to second base, Judge took off, and had he been safe, beaten that throw, he would have been at second base.
Right.
As it goes down officially as a caught stealing 1-6.
Yeah, he had nothing to lose, and that's why you had to come to a set. You either try to create a balk or something different, beat the throw to second. Ultimately, once Joe saw the replay and saw he was going to be safe at first but didn't touch at second, he told him, go, run.
Almost worked. 2-1 the count on Beltran, and a ground ball foul. Outside first. So here it is, and watch Girardi. He's a Northwestern guy. He says go. And almost safe at second. Have you ever seen that?
Not quite like that. I've seen botched attempts for appeals.
Yes.
But not quite like that.
Check in with Ken Rosenthal after this 2-2. Strikeout starts the 5th. Ken, what did you see down there?
Joe, what I'm told from baseball is that the play at second would have been reviewable. But in order to use replay on that play, the second part of it, the Astros had to appeal it first, which they were in the process of doing. So yes, the Yankees were trying to beat the police in essence.
Yeah, no, that's well said. So they had to appeal the play out on the field, and then they would have gone to replay themselves. But because Judge took off and was tagged out, it goes down as a caught stealing in the end of the fourth inning. Crazy. Here's a ground ball to the right side off the bat of Gonzalez. 2 up, 2 down in a scoreless game in the fifth. The ALCS on FS1 is presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966, and is sponsored by Hankook Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. 2 out, nobody on. It's Brian McCann, who was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Which pitcher is going to make the mistake first? They've both been great.
This has to feel good for Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I know a lot of people maybe have been down on him in this area because he hasn't delivered to the degree they thought when they made the move for him. This guy is a great pitcher.
And the Yankee fans are seeing that here tonight as that breaking ball is in for strike 1.
You know, you always hear what game or this game they officially became a Yankee, or they checked in with the pinstripes. But timing is everything, and right now he's delivering.
12 days of rest as that bounces in. McCann, former Yankee, is hitless his last 15 postseason at bats and is just 2 for 39 in the postseason dating back to 2012.
You know, he's looking for anything up he can get to that short porch.
Here's a 2-1. The scoreboard has 1 and 2. The Yankee fans in the stadium, they thought that was a strikeout. The scoreboard was wrong. And now it's 2 and 2. A high strike, and McCann didn't agree. The 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. Strikeout number 4. And Sonny Gray is on tonight. So is Lance McCullers Jr. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bird, Castro, Hicks coming up, no score. Welcome back to the ALCS, presented by Camping World on FS1. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bird swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play left side. Our game summary sponsored by Budweiser. The pitching outstanding. Gray and McCullers.
Yeah, you want to know why McCullers was picked for this game? Because he can spin a breaking ball with the best of them. And 27 curveballs coming into this inning, 20 of them for strikes. That is a tremendous ratio and why the Yankee hitters have struggled so far.
1 ball, 1 strike on Bird, who spent almost 4 months on the disabled list. An issue with his lower right leg, eventually had surgery on that ankle after getting off to a slow start, but he's been good since he came back. He came into this game over his last 38 with 11 home runs and 30 RBIs. Hit a home run in game 1. No! Lays off the pitch, 2-2. One last point about that appeal situation, both at first and then the appeal at second, and Aaron Judge taking off. You've got paying fans here at Yankee Stadium. They have no idea what was going on. They have to make an announcement and tell the people in the stadium what's being reviewed. Initially, when we were talked to by Major League Baseball, they were going to have an umpire flip on a stadium mic like they do in the NFL to tell the crowd what is being reviewed, and the television audience for that matter. But the crowd, especially here, because they're in the dark, umpires balked at that, and they said, well, the PA person will do it, and that really hasn't come to pass. And so people here just saw Aaron Judge take off for no reason.
Yeah, they probably saw like he lost his mind twice. What was he doing?
Yeah. But in the end, it was actually a pretty heads-up play that almost worked. 3-2 pitch. Another foul. Whoa. That almost took out Todd Frazier.
When is he not smiling? You know, the guys in the dugout usually say that's an ugly finder. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be the best looking guy on the team.
That's ball 4 for a leadoff walk for the 2nd straight inning. Tom Verducci, what are you seeing down low?
Well, a ton of curveballs. We've seen Lance McCullers this year throw as many as 61 curves in a game. So far today, over 50%. And the reason he can keep throwing these pitches, it's so well disguised. Before a hitter sees spin, he sees how the ball comes out of the hand. Watch the ball come out of his hand. It does not pop up. Pitchers call this tunneling. It leaves his hand in the same tunnel as his fastball. If you watch when Sonny Gray throws his curveball, he actually has a higher spin rate, but the ball will pop up out of Sonny Gray's hand. Hitters can see that. With McCullers, there is disguise and deception with his curveball besides the incredible break.
Well, he was able to get around a leadoff walk last inning, and now he'll have to try and do it again. Castro at the plate. Grounded out his first time. Castro's timing's been a little off in this ALCS. 9 for 38 overall this postseason. Over the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
Each pitcher has done a nice job with the very limited traffic getting ground balls. Sonny Gray was able to turn a double play. I'm sure McCullers would love to see his left side of his infield be into action here against Castro.
The Yankees have turned one. The Astros look to turn a double play. And here you go. Correa, Altuve, got them both. And now the bases are clear with 2 out for Aaron Hicks. As Castro was jammed a bit on that pitch. And a soft ground ball to Correa.
Those guys are as good as it gets. And of course, Correa as good as it gets.
Now Aaron Hicks, who's 2 for 12 in this ALCS. This was kind of the wild card game as you get down to the 4th spot. McCullers has been ineffective since coming off the disabled list. Had a great first half of the season, was an all-star. Sonny Gray, since the trade, kind of skidded into the postseason. Didn't last long in the division series. Game 1, went 3 1/3. Took the loss. But these pitchers have been lights out. No runs, 2 hits total as Hicks chases it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I'm really impressed with McCullers because he found out late last night. He was throwing in the outfield, long tossing, getting ready for today because it wasn't a given. You know, we talked about, especially I talked about, all the signs were Peacock was going to start. And after the game last night, they went with McCullers, and it has been a great decision, and he has been right on point.
Two and 1 as McCann catches that on a hop.
And as numbers go, which I think you throw out the window in individual games, the 5th inning's been his worst inning. I mean, it could have been a couple blow-up innings, but a 10.7 ERA in the 5th inning on this year. And he's showing no signs of letting his manager feel like the bullpen should even be up right now.
That's a strike. 2 and 2.
And that's why, and even AJ will say it, and Joe Girardi will say it, you use your eyes. You're given the information's valuable, but you use your eyes. And what your eyes tell you right now is he's in rhythm, and they haven't squared up a lot of baseballs.
Left side, Bregman to his left. Hicks hustling down the line, grounds out. And how about these 2 right-handers? Lance McCullers Jr. He's allowed 1 hit. Sonny Gray the same. And we're scoreless into the 6th in game 4. Top of the order for Houston. Springer first up, no score, 6th inning. Houston 1 hit, Yankees 1 hit. First pitch of ball. Rematch from game 1 tomorrow. Dallas Keuchel and Masahiro Tanaka. Same start time. Just after 5 o'clock here locally with the first pitch. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. Here's Tanaka. He was good. Dallas Keuchel was better.
Great game plan too for Tanaka. Him and Larry Rothschild came up with. Kind of confusing. The Astros stayed away from the split.
That's ball 3, 3-0. Sonny Gray's allowed the 1 hit, as I've said. I wonder if a leadoff walk gets the bullpen going despite the dominant stuff by Gray in this game. Here's a 3-0. That's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk starts the 6th.
Pretty good pitch. He was taken all the way, and to your point, we'll get him going.
When you've got the kind of arms that Joe Girardi has down in his bullpen, a guy like David Robertson, Chad Green, Canely, see that pitch barely missed, if at all. They're going to get working out there in the pen, as the batter is Josh Reddick, and it's Robertson.
And what you don't want to do, because everybody who doesn't play the game and thinks they know that when every pitcher should be in, you can't get a guy up all the time. Like, we'll just get him up in case something happens. Well, you can't keep doing that. So you judge the game based on how it's going, and then the first sign you see there might be a crack in the armor of the pitcher, then you get the guy going. But it's not that easy to just keep getting the same guy up and down and exhaust his bullets along the way.
It's like who's ever catching David Robertson has to warm up out there too. Just threw one over his head. Sonny Gray showed pretty good feet with that last pickoff attempt with Springer on. Not a huge running threat, but you never know. Trying to get something going. That's 5 straight as Reddick takes ball 1. Frazier's going to come over and slow down Gray, and Austin Romine's going to come out and talk.
Well, I'm really impressed with the outing that Gray has given him to this point. Not pitching in 11-12 days is not easy. I'm telling you, you can only do so many things to stay sharp while you haven't gone off the mound in any kind of competition.
Astros bats have been shut down, but they lead the series 2-1. That's a ball. 2-0. Gray, a little longer look in at Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire, as he didn't get that pitch.
Mentally, when your team has not scored runs, each inning that goes by, you try to get tougher and tougher, but it starts wearing on you because you're not afforded a mistake.
There's a strike. 2-1.
And the hardest thing to do in this game, under the most intense pressure of the playoffs, is to try and pitch perfect. It doesn't always work. You have to be able to be committed, but let it, you know, if you give up a run, you give up a run. You just try not to give up multiple runs in one inning.
That's strike 2. And now they're going to say that catcher's interference on Romine will be an error on Romine and send Reddick down to first.
Reddick and Ellsbury.
Let's see.
You could hear it.
Yep, just ticked the webbing of the glove. And that catcher's interference puts Reddick on base. Watch the webbing move just a little. An opportunity here for Houston, with Altuve coming up.
And we know this, he's not bunting, nor should he. His speed makes him hard to double. And This will be the hardest time and decision for Joe Girardi right now.
Girardi has to be tempted, despite the fact that his starter is allowed only one hit. A chance for the Astros, up 2-1, 2 on, nobody out.
Yankees are going to play it like they're not totally sure he may not be bunting.
Ball one in the dirt is Romine, who just got the error on catcher's interference, blocked it, and that's it. Girardi with a walk out. And we'll see if Robertson's going to come into the ball game right here.
Well, that walk is not a good sign for starting pitchers. Sometimes he'll go and communicate with what he wants himself, and usually it results in the bullpen, and Sonny's got to have this feeling.
4 postseason starts for Sonny Gray. 21 and a third innings pitched. No runs scored in his support. He leaves with 2 on, nobody out. Yankees into their bullpen. Here comes David Robertson. Number 5, Wisconsin hosts Maryland at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, followed by Baker Mayfield and 9th-ranked Oklahoma taking on K-State. That's Saturday on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Every game is everything. It's been a strange game, to say the least. We just saw the first catcher's interference in ALCS history, put 2 on after the walk. It was a swing by Reddick, then ball 1 down and away, and Sonny Gray is out of the ball game, going 5+, allowing 1 hit.
I can't even imagine his frustration right now. Hopefully he doesn't have to deal with any runs put to his record, which means Robertson's come in and done the job against the toughest part of the lineup.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch now to Altuve. Breaking ball is down for ball 2.
0 for 4 against Robertson.
Pretty good speed on with Springer and Reddick. Altuve waits for a 2-0. Strike 1.
That was a great cutter. Robertson doesn't throw anything straight. A lot of spin on all of those pitches. Comes off the hand. See the spin, late movement.
Got A.J. Hinch shaking his head. Now ball 3. What an opportunity for Jose Altuve. Count in his favor. League leader in hits. Potential AL MVP. His team up 2-1, and he should get something to rip here.
Yeah, and if I'm David Robertson, I would have a hard time throwing a cutter in this situation. You got to have confidence that your power breaking ball over the middle of the plate will create an aggressive swing by Altuve. Of course, he came in inheriting a 1-ball count, so it's really 2-1 for what Robertson has faced him, but the 3-1 count now. Huge pitch.
Here it is. A pop-up right side foul ball. And out of play. So full count.
Now, do you send the runners and trust your hit leader, batting title champ? I say yes. I'm aggressive, but I'm sitting up here.
Runners did not go.
Well, the one good news is the way they have shifted Altuve is Reddick is getting a huge lead at first base. So any ground ball, unless it's a bullet, he has a really good chance of beating it to second. We'll get a chance to see how huge. You see where Bird is playing, obviously giving him all that room to have an aggressive, huge lead.
Another 3-2 pitch to Altuve. Breaking ball is down, and the bases are loaded.
Well, there hasn't been many hits. There hasn't been many balls that have been squared up, and there hasn't been a ball in play in this inning, and the bases are loaded.
It's gone walk, catcher's interference, pitching change, and a walk.
It's just a good take. That's an aggressive breaking ball, and you can see he recognizes it right away. Mad at himself early, swinging out of the zone on a 3-2 pitch. Redeemed himself here, and he's passed the baton on to his infield counterpart in Correa.
Had the bases loaded and 2 out last night. Has the bases loaded and nobody out here tonight.
And anything other than to first base or third base is going to drive in the run. Otherwise, they would come home.
Bird, the first baseman for the Yankees, is way off the line. The Astros 1 for 11 this postseason with the bases loaded. Correa trying to put Houston on top here in the 6th. Breaking ball for a strike. The 23-year-old waits. Baseball for strike 2.
Now anyway, anyhow, put the ball in play if you're Correa, even if it's right to Didi. The Yankees will love to get 2 outs and let 1 run score.
Time called by Romine. And again, a meeting near the mound as Romine runs out there. Game 5 tomorrow. On the air at 4 Eastern here on FS1. Correa spoiled it.
Yeah, great job. And a good pitch selection right after the cutter. His cutter's so late. And if you start that power breaking ball right at the height of where the cutter was, you can't recognize that spin is going to go down and not stay lateral. So Correa does everything he can to fight it off right off the end of the bat. This is where you got to trust your catcher. He's going to block the ball.
Struck him out, 1 away.
And trust your catcher, he did. What a great job by Romine getting in position. This is textbook right here. Throw the ball in the same, try to bite off a little bit more. And Romine make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
Now the bases are loaded with 1 down, and the batter is Yuli Gurriel.
Now the hitter's philosophy changes with 1 out. Now you're looking to lift the ball in the air. You want to keep it off the ground.
Fastball misses inside, ball 1. Gurriel 0 for 2 against Gray. 2 for 11 now in this series. Tension down below. That's foul. Think about where the Astros sit. They're up 2 games to 1. Right here they have the bases loaded, 1 out. If they can get a win here in game 4, they've got Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander if they need the veteran right-hander back at home. Needing to win one of those 2 even before a potential game 7. This is such an opportunity here for Houston. The 1-1. Breaking ball down the line. 1 run scores that Springer. Here comes Reddick. They bring Altuve all the way around. Throw to the plate by Gregorius, cut off. They have Gurriel hung up. It's a 3-0 game and 2 out in the inning.
Only 1 mistake. Just 1. It backed up, stayed in, and this guy doesn't miss those. Down the line so fast that Frazier can't do anything. And then ultimately a scenario where we saw in game 2, Altuve, once he saw it get by, he puts on the burners, and then Frazier cuts the relay to get an out because Gurriel was coming around charging to third base.
How about that face on Jose Altuve? And Yuli Gurriel delivers and picks up Carlos Correa. Correa struck out. Gurriel with a 3-run double. And then the put out 7-6-5-9 as he's tagged out between second and third. 3-0 Houston here in the 6th inning.
The hair. You're touching the hair.
Strike hits the outside corner to Bregman. To third, backhanded stop by Frazier, inning over. But the Astros break through, and it's Yuli Gurriel, the 33-year-old rookie, unloading the bases. It's 3-0, Houston on top. Into the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 4. Two stars for the Astros so far in Game 4. That man, Yuli Gurriel, who just drove home 3 with a bases loaded double. And then the guy on the mound, Lance McCullers Jr., who's allowed no runs on 1 hit, walked 2, now leads by 3.
And this will be the hardest inning he pitches. It might be the last, but it'll be the hardest, because when you get locked into a 0-0 game and your team breaks out with 3 runs, patience and keeping the same kind of mindset. Last 2 pitches looks like they could have been strikes. They were called balls.
Frazier waits for a 2-0 and takes a strike. 2-1. Austin Romine on deck. And back to the top of the order, Gardner. 6th inning, 3-0 Houston. That's outside, 3-1.
First hitter was so important. When a team scores run for you, is to just squelch. Nothing is going to happen in the next inning. That's your mindset. Get the first guy out. And if the next guy gets a hit, it's not as big a deal as the first guy getting on.
That's hammered down the line, but foul.
I say 3-2 curveball. That's what he's gone to. His curveball so good.
Here he comes. Struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for McCullers. 1 out here in the 6th.
He just has so much confidence in that pitch, and why not? It's been the pitch all night. This one maybe not as big a break, but stays in the zone. You see that spike grip, and this one kind of coming out a little sideways rather than going down, but it worked.
Number 9 hitter is Austin Romine. Takes a strike. Romine hit .218 during the regular season, 2 home runs. He is 0 for 1 this postseason. That came with his 3rd inning groundout. Aimed to hit the other way in the outfield as he chops one to third. Bregman gets the high hop. 2 out.
Well, as you said, this has been a strange game. I didn't think there was a chance after the layoff of McCullers getting through 6 innings. Just based on his inability to be as, in rhythm that a starting pitcher would be, and he has been spectacular. Sonny Gray was flawless. Catcher's interference really put him in a tough situation, and then a very difficult situation for Robertson to get out of, facing 3-4-5.
Chad Green is getting loose as Gardner, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts, takes a strike. That's down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Only 76 pitches.
Lance McCullers Jr. is pitching in the Bronx. His dad pitched for the Yankees in 1989 and 90. There's Lance McCullers at Old Yankee Stadium. That's a road uni. Played for 4 teams overall. A reliever, the Padres, the Yankees. He played for Dallas Green and Bucky Dent, the Tigers and Rangers. Here's a foul left side. And his career was 28-31 with 36 saves. And his boy is pitching terrific baseball here tonight.
He sure is. He's a rhythm pitcher. He's got the classic wind-up, long arm, kind of continues to go towards home plate. He's getting after it. And I really believe 2 years ago has helped him, as it will help any young pitcher to go through the postseason for the first time and feel more at home the second and third time you get a chance.
2-2. There's a guy with 54 home runs this season waiting on deck. Gardner trying to get on to bring him up. 2-2. Right side for the 3rd time tonight. Gardner's grounded to Altuve. And Lance McCullers Jr. making his first start of this postseason. Outstanding. He's allowed 1 hit. No runs through 6. Astros are celebrating in New York right now as they lead 3-0 Game 4. Chad Green is the third right-hander of the night for New York. He takes over in the 7th inning. 3-0 Houston leads it. I'll give you the numbers on the first 2 pitchers. This guy can really bring it. Misses outside at 96. Gray goes 5+, allows 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Hit a batter, threw a wild pitch, and Robertson all ones. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. That's strike 2 on Beltran.
Not much more Sonny Gray could do, honestly.
One-two pitch is down and away, and Romine's had a tough time tonight at different points in this game for receiving some pitches. And that catcher's interference really put Sonny Gray in a bad spot. Here's that last one. Here's a 2-2. He hangs on there as Beltran strikes out. 1 out in the 7th. Sunday on Fox, we've got a full slate of games headlined by Drew Brees and the Saints taking on the Packers. And the Cowboys at the 49ers. Check your local listings for the games in your area.
Yeah, you had to read that a little differently, didn't you?
That's right, I did.
Because there's no Aaron Rodgers. That probably would be the lead.
Yeah, that's a crippling injury on
sure is.
Fronts. 97 misses down and away, obviously for the Green Bay Packers, but just for the star power of the NFC in particular, but the NFL in general. Aaron Rodgers is one of the faces of the league, and out with a broken right collarbone. Suffered on a hit on Sunday, and now it's Brett Hundley's team. 1-0 pitch. Outside. 2-0. So what does that mean for the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings? And
it's different.
Not just teams in the North, but teams in the NFC overall. That's a strike.
Wow. That side of the plate's getting bigger, and the Astros hitters are talking about how much bigger that zone away. That is off the plate. So if you're a pitcher, just keep going there. If you're a hitter, hang with them.
Here's a 2-1 to Marwin Gonzalez. It's down. After Gonzalez, the number 9 man McCann. Get the feeling the bottom of this 7th inning will be a big one. With Judge, Gregorius, and Sanchez, the 2, 3, 4 hitters. And the Astros bullpen is quiet.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that just credits what AJ's seeing in McCullers and the confidence that not only McCullers has on the mound, but the confidence AJ has in his starting pitcher.
There's a 3-1 to Gonzalez, fouled away.
That's a swing that the previous strike enticed Gonzalez to go out there in a 3-1 count.
Marwin's fly to left, grounded to second. Trying to get on with 1 out before McCann. And he does. Into right center field. See if anybody can cut it off. Gonzalez is going to push it and make it with a double. So Marwin Gonzalez has his first ALCS hit. He might give that to his newborn son Blake. As the Yankees in the outfield and Aaron Hicks did all they could, but Gonzalez too quick.
Maybe the lefty starting to heat up. We mentioned before the game started, 0 for 28 were the left-handed hitters in this talented lineup. Well, Beltran, double. Gonzalez, double.
Here's McCann. It's up 0-1. That's high again, 2-0, and Romine pops up and tries to settle down Green. That Gurriel bases clearing double last inning for the Astros, the first time they've had that in their postseason history. Tonight's their 70th postseason game, and for the Yankees, it's the first they've allowed in their 389 game postseason history. Castro able to wait, and now he kicks it into right field. Coming in to score is Gonzalez. And it's 4-0 Houston here in the 7th. McCann hit it right at Castro, who staggered around and ended up making an error. That's his second of the night and the third on the Yankees.
Two things: the shift, the spin, and the footing. Obviously, on the dirt, you're going to have different footing. And you see how the turf gave away, and he was just a little bit off balance, and that off balance caused him to fall back. And once he got to third, they kept waving him in.
A big fourth run here in the 7th, and that bench fired up. We came on the air talking about the good defense we've seen really on both sides. Last night the Yankees jumped in on the fun with Aaron Judge's 2 catches in right. But it's been a 3-error night for the Yankees here in Game 4. That's a strike.
Well, because McCann can't run and they're so deep, he actually, Castro, backed up to get the bigger hop, and as he was backing up, lost that footing and ultimately fell down. It's crazy is the theme of today's game.
That's inside, 2-1.
So here's the hit, right? It kind of jams him, and it's got spin. Right here's the hop, and then he's trying to back up and get a bigger hop. And once he does that, not only does he lose his footing, he loses the ball, which allows the runner to score, and just not what Castro normally does on a daily basis.
Springer unloads on a 2-1 pitch. It's 2-2. I think George is a little frustrated. 1 for 13. With no production in this series so far.
And he can go into these funks. That's one thing AJ was talking about. His swing gets bigger, looking to, hit the homer instead of letting it happen.
Hard hit. Tough hop. Well turned. 5-4-3 with Castro in the middle, but a Starlin Castro error allows another run to score. Time to stretch. 4-0 Houston, Game 4. McCullers and Gurriel getting it done so far for the Astros, trying to go up 3-1, and we welcome you back to the ALCS presented by Camping World on FS1. Another game summary for you. 4-0, a 3-error night for the Yankees defensively. A bases clearing double by Yuli Gurriel in the 6th inning. Lance McCullers Jr. has been tremendous. There is action for Houston in the bullpen right now, but McCullers back out there. Sonny Gray, another postseason start. Another postseason start with no runs of support as Davinsky, the hard-throwing right-hander, gets loose for Houston, the all-star from this season.
Well, the Astros are in a good position, but by no means is this game over. The Yankees always a swing or two away from back in the ballgame. They got to find a way to get some runners on. And more than likely, they're going to have to beat the Astros bullpen. And now that's been condensed to this point. Only 3 innings will be needed if McCullers doesn't get an out.
Only starting pitcher to lose a game allowing 1 hit in postseason history. Bill Bevins. In 1947, the World Series Game 4. This is the 1,534th postseason game, and that just underlines the tough luck for Sonny Gray. 5+ innings, 1 hit. The leadoff walk in the 6th inning didn't help. Then after falling behind the second batter, Josh Reddick, 2-0, he had battled back. He got the foul ball, but catcher's interference on that swing put Reddick on base. And after ball 1 to Altuve, a pitching change, and Gurriel did the rest. Judge hits one into center. A monster shot. His second of the series, and it's 4-1.
What I said, this team and Joe Girardi loves his ability for this team to fight back under any circumstances, and they're always a swing or two away with the power they possess in the lineup, and that'll be it for McCullers.
A.J. Hinch is out. He got what he hoped for and more from his starter, Lance McCullers Jr. He got him into the 7th inning. Davinsky will come out of the bullpen. And that ball was just destroyed. It's a 3-run game again. 4-1. Pitching change in the bottom of the 7th. Majestic. Home run by Aaron Judge. His 36th in this ballpark this season. That StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. And here's Davinsky, who takes over, and the first pitch goes back to the backstop, down and in ball one to Didi Gregorius.
He walks unorthodox, he throws unorthodox, but he can be nasty. He's kind of their super reliever where they'll use him in every situation they can. Fastball, changeup, occasional breaking ball, but falls away from his mechanics and just funky enough.
Here's one into left center field. This ball is drilled and down to the wall. Gregorius will turn and go. The throw not made. It's a triple.
This good piece of hitting. Pitch away, goes with it. Baseball, unlike football, where you could see played with emotion and momentum changes. Right now, crowd back into it after seeing 4 runs go against them. This team grinds. That guy, Mr. Positive.
Infield is deep. They'll give up the run for the out. It's only the 7th inning, 4-1 game. Gregorius at third. Gary Sanchez up. Hitless in this series, ball one, as a right-hander, Joe Musgrove, gets loose for Houston in their bullpen. He got up when Davinsky came in. The Yankees 4-0 at home this postseason, averaging 6 runs a game. As I said, they've won 17 of their last 20 here in the Bronx.
If you're the Yankees, you want to get enough action going and enough guys to the plate to have this lineup come back through the ninth.
Good pitch in on the hands of Sanchez, who has 2 postseason home runs, 35 total for the year. Nobody out, runner at third. And what is right now a 1-run 7th.
I know Judge, rightfully so, gets all the publicity on his homers, but Sanchez can actually on average hit it farther. We've seen the farthest hit ball by Judge, but the average home runs, this guy doesn't take a back seat to anybody, does Sanchez.
That's in the air to right. Gregorius tags. The throw home is not in time for 2 game on a sac fly by Sanchez. Reddick had no chance. Hit deep enough by the Yankee DH. One out in the inning, and the batter is Greg Bird. The Astros don't really have a left-handed reliever they trust. They have right-handers who are effective against left-handed batters. The only lefty they have is Francisco Liriano. But when we talked to their manager, A.J. Hinch, he said the layoff has been long enough that his stuff could be effective. There's a 1-0.
Yeah, and this is, you would think these are left-handed numbers, meaning a left-handed pitcher, but when Davinsky faces left-handers. They hit under 100 on the fastball, 134 on the changeup, 0 for 12 on the slider. So there's your lefty out of the pen, as AJ would call it.
1-1. That run that scored on the error in the top of this inning is hovering over this 7th. Looms large. 2-1 pitch. Fooled him. 2-2. 82 miles per hour out of the hand of Davinsky. Full count. Ball 4. And now the Yankees will have the tying run at the plate as A.J. Hinch pops out of the dugout, the person of Starlin Castro, who's made 2 errors tonight, one leading to that run in the top of the inning, and that's it for Davinsky. Musgrove is coming in as Davinsky stomps off the mound here at Yankee Stadium. LCS on FS1 is presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966, and is sponsored by Pepsi and by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. That's Manhattan. This is the Bronx, and this is Starlin Castro. And that is Joe Musgrove, who got into 2 games in the division series. And there are his numbers from the regular season.
He's got it all. 4-seam, sinker, change, slider, curveball, cutter. Now this place has woken up. Standing up, tying run at the plate. Silenced 10 minutes ago.
Davinsky goes 1/3 of an inning. Allows a hit and a walk. Leaves with a man on. That's Bird at first. 1 out. Ball 1 to Castro. Musgrove really took off when he moved to the bullpen after the All-Star break. And Hinch, A.J. Hinch, is trying to get him to stop this momentum that is building for the team in the pinstripes. 1-0. Chased it at 95, upper part of the strike zone.
Castro had one idea there, and that was tie it up. But up there going to be much more difficult than 96. Blowing a bubble as the ball's going across the bat.
2 times on the disabled list with a bad hamstring for Castro this season. Hit 15. Look at 16 home runs, none this postseason. A 1-1. To third. That's a fair ball. The throw by Bregman. What a play. 2 out in the inning. And Bregman just made a terrific play to get Castro.
He sure did. This was not easy at all. The throw. Look how wide of third he is. He comes all the way over. Has to gather and throw. And of course, Castro's trying his best to beat it out. Maybe anticipating the throw. Beat it with a slide. Still think it's faster to run through the bag, but.
Now out to talk is Brent Strom, the pitching coach. With Hicks coming up, the switch hitter who will bat left-handed, and the right-handed hitting Frazier on deck, and maybe a little refresher for Musgrove as to what they try to do against Aaron Hicks.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just guessing here, I would say make him beat you away. Don't have that nitro zone inside where he can reach that short porch. Make him beat you away. And of course, Hicks not fond of off-speed pitches against right-handers, so maybe that's another reminder as well.
Hicks also 2 times on the DL this year with an oblique strain. He hit 15 home runs. Runner at second, 2 out, 2-run game. What? Strike 1 on a pitch. It was up.
And that's what I'm saying. So McCann knows it. Knows you can get a little inch or 2 out there.
Hicks off the end of the bat, shallow right center, coming to get it, Reddick. And a good job by Musgrove to end the 7th, but the Yankees are on the board. It started with a home run by Judge, sac fly by Sanchez. 4-2 Houston as we go to the 8th. Inning of Game 4. Play ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. Chilly night in the Bronx. 6 runs total. 6 hits total. And Houston leads by 2. 8th inning. Reddick took a strike. Ball and a strike. An unearned run in the 7th inning. Made it 4-0. It's now 4-2. There have been 2 unearned runs scored tonight by Houston. 1 out. With the bases empty, the batter will be Altuve. Official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate your favorite team with the latest postseason gear at MLBshop.com.
Yeah, so many twists and so many firsts really in this game, and it's been a great series. It's been pitched extremely well. Even yesterday's game was pitched well. The results weren't good. 8 runs. The Yankees played it. Some tough luck hits out of Morton on the mound and 2 out runs. And the run started in the top of the 6th.
Good fastball from Green. Strike 1. We saw Jaime Garcia getting loose for the Yankees out in their bullpen, but right now it's Green. This one into center for Aaron Hicks. 2 out. And the batter will be Correa. Tonight it's the Cubs and Dodgers on TBS. Game 3 with Los Angeles leading 2-0 on the air at 9 Eastern. And then tomorrow, same as today, on FS1, and we're on the air at 4 Eastern with coverage. The game starts just after 5 here locally. It'll be Game 5. And a matchup of Masahiro Tanaka and Dallas Keuchel. Both pitched well in Game 1, a 2-1 win for Houston. Correa, strike 1.
And a big difference pitching 3-1 versus the series tied. That's what the Yankees would like to do, to hand the ball to Tanaka. And what the Astros are trying to do is give their ace an opportunity to close it out. A big mental difference. Still, the task is the same. You want to keep their explosive power, which Keuchel has done amazingly. 0 home runs in his career off of Keuchel.
214 plate appearances against him by the Yankee hitters.
It's unbelievable.
Meanwhile, an 0-2 pitch to Correa.
That's like better than throwing a no-hitter in Coors Field.
That's tomorrow. What we have is drama for the rest of tonight. 2-run game, top of the 8th. Yankees will have the bottom 2 in their lineup to start it. Strikeout ends the top half. Second strikeout for Chad Green, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees will bat down by 2. Joe Girardi is going to use Chase Headley off his bench, it appears. And we'll have to lose the DH. But desperate times, down 2-1 and trailing by 2 in the 8th inning as Musgrove throws a strike to Todd Frazier. On deck is Headley, as I mentioned. He would bat for Romine. And they'll have to have Sanchez catch.
Great pitch. And if there's any trouble in this inning, look for Giles to get multiple outs, as he's had a couple days off and warming up in the pen as we speak.
Closer Ken Giles. Frazier 1 for 2. Up on the count here, 2-1. Frazier, who grew up in Toms River, New Jersey, was a Little League hero. And the championship team dreamed of an opportunity like this to get a rally started with his team down, and he's on. Into left field. Frazier will think about it, but hold with a leadoff single. And that will bring in Headley. And will bring out Brent Strom, the pitching coach.
A couple reasons. Buy some time. Here's a good piece of hitting by Frazier. They tried to throw a front door cutter, and it leaked out over the middle of the plate. And Frazier don't miss many of those. That's what he's been geared to do. Had to go into the breaks there and make sure tying run stays at the plate and not him getting thrown out.
Well, Headley popped 12 home runs during the regular season. He's been the third baseman here. He's been a DH at times. He is 1 for 18 this postseason. And again, he's hitting for the catcher Romine. Sanchez is the DH. He'll have to go in and catch. Opportunity for the Yankees and for Chase Headley. Ball 1. Ball 2.
Well, those are 2 great takes. Anything inside has been vulnerable, has Headley. Coming off the bench, maybe a little more selective than being in the game. That pitch right there produced swings. Not tonight so far.
He tried to tie it. Instead, it's strike 1.
Leadoff hitters in this series, far few in between, have gotten on base. But boy, when you do in the postseason, it seems like the bases are loaded. When one guy gets on, the crowd stands.
That's strike 2. Good pitch down from Musgrove.
There's the same pitch now in a different count, and Headley couldn't lay off of it.
Came back and caught the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione, on the right knee. And now a 2-2 pitch. Into left center field. This ball is down. Frazier to third. Headley stumbles going around the bag. They throw to first, throw to second, safe.
It looked like Altuve was too far behind the bag to make the tag, but nonetheless, AJ's going to want to look at it. It's that important.
Yeah, I don't think AJ Hinch is in no, but he hasn't seen a replay or been told.
Right.
It looked like Headley got around the tag, but he was a dead duck between first and second.
So watch the throw right here. Now watch Altuve as he gets the ball. Look how far behind the bag he is. And part of that's trying to get the throw from the first baseman. We'll get a better angle right here. He's too far behind the bag, but does he get the tag down in time? Right here, he's lost his legs. And now he's in no man's land and decides, go for it.
Here's a good look at it.
But see how he's backing up?
Yep.
Altuve was backing up and not in position.
Headley believes he's safe. What a moment that was as he went down between first and second, and he is safe as long as his hand stays on the bag. And it does. The replay review sponsored by WB Mason. They show it here at Yankee Stadium and the crowd reacts. Second and third, nobody out. And that's going to be it for Musgrove. Another thriller in the Bronx. Here comes the closer, Giles. He has got a lot of work ahead of him as Headley just got in. We're in the 8th of Game 4. Some of the faces in this series, you want drama. Doesn't get any better than this. Bottom of the 8th inning, second and third, nobody out. 2-run Astros lead, up 2-1. Top of the order with the closer for the Astros, Ken Giles, into the game.
Yeah, not a good matchup for Giles. Gardner will put the ball in play. At least he's shown the ability to do that. What you want is a bigger swinging guy. You want a guy, even as dangerous as Judge is, he's more of a strikeout swing and miss. Yes, he's a home run threat. But Gardner, his job right now is to find a way to get Headley to third and, of course, Frazier to home.
1. Aroldis Chapman is up for the Yankees in their bullpen. He got up last night, did not have to come into the game, despite the fact that it was 8-0 going into the 9th inning. He had to get up and get loose after back-to-back walks to start the frame, and the Astros were threatening to make it a game. Gardner 0 for 3 tonight. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
This Yankee team, you have to finish them. You can't. They will not beat themselves. They will not just roll over. You've got to finish them. And at 3-0 after the 6th, everybody in the other dugout probably felt pretty confident of what was going to happen. But Joe has seen his team battle back, hit big homers, and find ways.
To the right side, a run will score out at first. It's 4-3. And a productive out from Brett Gardner, tying run 90 feet away.
I'm just telling you, that's the kind of player he is, and you need more of those kind of players that can be willing to sacrifice themselves, not be a hero, and let the next guy do his job. And the next guy is Aaron Judge. But with 2 strikes, put the ball in play. A productive out is not something we talk about much anymore.
Last time up, Aaron Judge hit a blast into center, and that chased the starter Lance McCullers Jr. Now we're going to get a pinch runner. Jacoby Ellsbury will come off the bench and run for Chase Headley, who had a harrowing trip from home to second a moment ago.
Yeah. Well, of course, Ellsbury is super fast and still have wheels. And you got to believe on any fly ball, any depth, he's going to challenge the outfielders. And the infield end's got to be not a comfortable position to be when Judge is at the plate.
Big swing, strike 1.
Back-to-back hanging sliders. 2-strike hanging slider from Gardner's ground ball, and that one, lucky he gets to pitch again to Judge, because that is not a good recipe.
Can Giles get out of this? One ball, one strike.
Really good pitch. Didn't get the call. Good take.
Tying run at third, 1 out. Ball 2. The 25-year-old rookie who has taken the Bronx by storm in 2017. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Off the hands, strike 2 at 99 miles an hour, and Giles now looking for the strikeout.
Yeah, he tried to throw it away, and he actually got away with it because he missed by 2 feet inside, jammed him. Tiny quadrant where that might give Judge a little bit of issues. You try to see his hands get through the zone as quickly as he could to get to that ball.
It's 4-4.
Didn't have the break in the turn. Stayed in the zone. It doesn't take much for Judge.
A.J. Hinch has come out to argue that that ball was touched by the fan. It definitely had a shot at that. It looked like the ball changed direction. Yeah, off his right hand. I mean, as it is, I don't think it changed the outcome of the play with that fan reaching over.
Well, it changed the way the ball would come off the wall. If it comes off the wall normally, maybe they got a better chance to throw the ball to second. This will be up to the umpires. They have the discretion of determining where to place the runner and what to do if they choose to look at it. See how it drops it straight down instead of coming off that padding.
Well, that's obviously the very end of the trip for that fly ball, but Gonzalez was in. He had a long run to get back there. In my opinion, and who cares about that? I think Judge is where he would have been no matter if that fan reaches over or not. And they're satisfied that that is the case. Now Judge is the go-ahead run with Didi Gregorius about to dig in. A 4-0 Houston lead is gone. What? 98 from Giles, strike one to Gregorius, who tripled and scored his last time.
Well, we're kind of where we should be if you think about it. Robertson was in an almost as equally tough scenario, coming in with first and second, nobody out, and the double with the bases loaded cleared it. Here, Giles was in a really tough mess, second and third, nobody out. Now the game tied, and he's hoping to keep it that way.
Left side, no chance for an out. Over to third is Judge on a base hit by Gregorius. Judge made sure the ball was going to go through the infield, and it went under the glove of Correa.
Yeah, the only thing, Judge, it's hard to remember as you look back and see where Correa was positioned before he hits the ball, and it would have been an easier read, and he could have taken off. But better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if that ball is any closer to Correa and Judge takes off, he could run right into an out at third base. So he's at third with one out. Across the way is Gregorius, and the batter is Gary Sanchez, who hit a sac fly his last time up. That made it 4-2. It's now 4-4.
You can steal on Giles. Double play kind of guy in Sanchez. Don't know how aggressive Joe will be. If he were to steal, you would anticipate a walk to Sanchez and then pitch to Bird with the bases loaded.
One-0 pitch. 2-0. Man on deck. Greg Bird homered off Giles in the ninth inning of game one. There goes Gregorius. Yankees lead into the gap, and 2 runs are going to score. Judge, Gregorius, Sanchez delivers. 6-4 New York.
Well, the runner going might have helped Sanchez stay on this ball and shoot it to right center. Something he hasn't been doing. Pulling off of the ball. But with Didi going, easy run. And an easy double. Yankees have done this so many times.
Six unanswered runs as Joe Espada waves home Gregorius to make it 6-4. And what a time for Gary Sanchez to find his first ALCS base hit. It's a 2-run double. The Astros just intentionally walked Greg Bird to put him at first. And that's it for Giles. Luke Gregerson is getting loose. He'll find himself in this game. The Baby Bombers, they get it done. Judge is homered tonight. An RBI double and a run scored in this inning from the young catcher Gary Sanchez, who puts the Yankees on top. Judge, a home run last night. He pulled it to left. Tonight, shoots one out to center. And here in the 8th inning, hits an RBI double. Scores the go-ahead run. A rally that was started by the New Jersey native Todd Frazier with a base hit to left.
Judge has been consistent in everything that he's done. After he strikes out, he goes back to the dugout. You don't see anything different. And the more they pitch him a certain way, and the more sliders he sees, the better at bats he's been getting. And tonight, he got him going with a homer. And now that double.
Chapman getting loose. 2 on, still only 1 out in the inning, and the batter is Castro. Ball 1. Houston will have Gurriel, Bregman, and Beltran in the 9th.
Gregerson sinkers, and sliders.
Castro 0 for 3. 2-0. Oh. 2-1 from Gregerson. He is a guy who gives whatever team he's pitched for. He's been out in San Diego, he's bounced around a little bit, but if you need a guy that can be relied on to give you a lot of work, Gregerson can be that guy. 8th season, 9th total, making 60 or more appearances. Right now he's trying to keep this a 4-run inning and a 2-run game. Castro with a count in his favor, 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Joe Girardi is trying to get the attention of the home plate umpire.
Asking to see if Castro was okay. Gave him the thumbs up.
So now a 3-1 pitch with runners at first and second. And one out. That'll load him up. The Yankees will send at least 9 to the plate here in the 8th. For the Yankees, the last time they overcame a 4-run deficit at home in their postseason history was a game that has become known as the Aaron Boone game. The home run off Wakefield, 2003 ALCS Game 7. Boone won it. Hicks, strike one.
Infield's kind of halfway. They're going to read the speed off the bat or the ball off the bat to determine what they can do. Middle infielders maybe turn 2 if it's hit firmly. Everybody else coming home.
Gregerson working from the windup. Here's the 0-1. In at the knees. McCann, a good job to pull that one up in the count 0-2. Hicks hitless tonight. 2 out of 14 in this ALCS.
The only way you won't see Chapman in the 9th is if the Yankees score 3 or more in this scenario, and then they can go maybe for that man, Jaime Garcia.
That's in the dirt, and a good job by McCann.
Wows so far tonight. And right now, this crowd has been treated to 4 runs here in the 8th. And a guarantee, if this holds up, a game 6.
The Yankees win tonight. This series will go back to Houston. Houston still in this one, though. Gregerson trying to keep him in it. Slow roller. Throw to the plate. Out. And a good job by Gurriel to get the force at home.
Sanchez got a great break. Anticipating and making it close. He's getting a bunch of high fives there. And there's the soft chopper. Only one play here for Gurriel.
He had to hurry.
Great secondary lead and just close it in. That is outstanding.
Now the guy who started this with a base hit to left. That was against Musgrove. Todd Frazier bats with the bases loaded, 2 out. Well, Gregerson could do some job here to keep this a 2-run game. Good pitch for strike 1. Strike 2.
Think about the Yankees. The last 2 at bats by Judge and Didi have put the Yankees in this position. Homer, triple, double, single. They have hit for the cycle in their last 2 at bats together and have ignited this offense.
Judge's home run leading off the 7th inning started the scoring for the Yankees. They've added 5 more since. Lead 6-4 the 0-2. Through the first 6 innings of this game, 19 batters, 1 hit. Since, 15 batters, 6 runs on 7 hits. With 4 extra base hits. Gregerson on 1 and 2. Quite a while ago, Frazier started this 8th with a base hit in the left. And then after that, he became their top cheerleader in and out of the dugout.
I'm telling you, he was in the middle of everything in the Cleveland Indians series. Now a big part of this series. Either way, what happens here, the crowd's going to go crazy. If he gets a hit, they're going to go crazy. If he pops up, they're going to go crazy because Chapman's coming in.
Another 1-2 pitch to Frazier. Left side. Good play, Bregman. Wow. Can he play third? Out at first, but a 4-run 8th inning. And now big number 54 is coming in with Gurriel, Bregman, Beltran coming up. Yankees lead by 2. The Dodgers and the Cubs from Wrigley Field, with the Dodgers up 2-0. That's at 9 Eastern on TBS. Tomorrow, same situation, FS1 on the air at 4 Eastern with Game 5 of this series. Keuchel and Tanaka, and that's followed by game number 4 between the Cubs and the Dodgers in the NLCS. Meanwhile, the young guys, the baby bombers, coming through. They call them around here, Judge and Sanchez. Here's Chapman. 9th inning, Gurriel first up. Strike one. Pitch was up at 100 miles an hour, called strike one. .101 for strike two. Gurriel couldn't hold up. He came through big with a 3-run double back in the 6th. They made it 3-0 Houston. They led 4-0 into the bottom of the 7th. Now trail 6-4.
The hardest thing to do against Chapman is swing over the top of his fastball, because everybody swings underneath because it's so firm you just can't get on top of his fastball. So I heard someone say the best way to hit is try to swing over the top of it. Oh, good luck. 102.
Astros need just one base runner to have a chance. Down by 2. 1 out. Kevin Burkhardt, give us a game break. This postseason has been a first and second guesser's dream. No matter the team, no matter the game. McCullers very strong through 6+. Davinsky struggled. Musgrove, Giles, who's on the hook right now for the loss if the Astros don't rally. Bregman, strike one.
Hardest job of a closer is coming into a situation where you're always geared towards saving the game. Second and third, nobody out, probability's not as high. But once the game gets tied, you still have to shift to saving the game tied. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do that.
0-1 pitch. Breaking ball from Chapman, strike 2. Bregman hitless tonight, 2 for 12 in the series. He has played a terrific defensive third base. Evan Gattis is in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for Beltran. Joe Madden, the manager of the Cubs, was shocked when Chicago made the deal with New York last year and rolled his Chapman into a Cubs uniform. He said, I had no idea how this guy was put together. He is a rock.
Yeah. Great athlete, super fast, running, strong.
Pretty good left arm. 2 out. Our Hankook Tire dynamic play of the game. It's this pinch hit. It went down as a single for Headley. He took a header between first and second. They threw behind him. And somehow he got his hand on the bag before the tag by Altuve. A big part of that 4-run 8.
It sure was. What a difference. And what a tough spot he was in. He wiggled out of it.
Here's Gattis. Should end it. Gardner wants it. Series is tied at 2 apiece. The Yankees got down 4-0, didn't quit, and a good mix of young and old fueled this comeback. Green the winner, Ken Giles the loser for Houston. Chapman gets the save. What a game, what a series. Can't wait for tomorrow. Kevin, all yours.